Jake Hatch of Locked On Cougars. Wildest thing happened this weekend. And I've been complimentary of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints because there are fan bases at the Big 12, whether it's Colorado or Arizona, fan bases outside of the Big 12 like Stanford, that treat a religion poorly. That the hate speech they give toward a faith, and an evangelical faith, by the way, one that I don't think that I'm almost positive there are identifying Christians that are in the stands chanting, F the Mormons, who don't understand Mormons, that's the word they use, are also Christian. And you may be thinking this is a sports podcast. Yeah, but there's a lot of ignorance around the Big 12. And one of the coolest things that happened this weekend, Kalani Sitake comes up to me. I've never met him. I stay away from players and coaches as much as possible. Slippery slope, Mike Gundy situation. They get fired. I've got to report on it. Keep a distance. Comes up to me, first time meeting him, shakes my hand, and as soon as he grabs my hand, pulls me forward and engulfs my body. I was like, Coach, I'm Drake Toll. Nice to meet you. And he's like, I know who you are. And I just want to thank you. I was like, thank me for what? He's like, dude, just ignorance isn't a bad word, but for helping people understand BYU is not a bad place. BYU is not a scary place. This utopian, dystopian place. Jake, I think one fan base at a time, hopefully the Big 12, and it seems like they are coming around on the idea that these people aren't just crazy Mormons, but instead they bring a lot of value to this conference and they're very normal people.
I think you're right, Drake, because there's a lot of monikers out there. There's a lot of people who will tell you that Mormons are one thing, they're another thing. As a lifelong member of the faith, I can tell you, I feel like I'm a fairly normal person. Yeah, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do a lot of the things.
No, he's healthy. Wow.
But the point is, there is this perception out there that Mormons are like these fundamentalists, and you see it. You mentioned it. The TV versions of Mormons make you think we're absolute freaks. Is probably the best term I can use, and I'm allowed to use it because I am a member of the faith. But the situation is, I think if you come out here to Provo, see how rabid a fan base that BYU has, see how literally normal a lot of our fans are, you're going to realize, you know what? They're just like me. They're a normal football fan who just happens to be a member of another religion. That's a simple fact of life. You're right. There are a lot of people out there who chant the F the Mormons and that type of stuff that have no idea what a Mormon believes, who a Mormon is, or what they're actually doing when they do it. They're just kind of going along with the crowd. I fully understand that. I was appreciative that Colorado took some measures to clean that up. And I'm hoping the other universities in the Big 12, if and when it comes back around, they'll take the same type of measures. But you're right. I think fan base by fan base, Cougar fans are showing, hey, we're no different than you guys. We love our team, and we just happen to be a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
So it makes you think, had Colorado chanted F the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, that's like a double-edged sword where you're like, hey, too far. But also, thanks for, not saying Mormon. There's something to that. This league, I think, took a huge stance in standing up for BYU and finding Colorado and showing that religious hate is not going to be allowed in this conference, no matter who it's against. Another piece of this, Jake, I had a beer at a tailgate before the game. And
I know who you were hanging out with, by the way, because they texted me right after that, by the way.
And the whole crew that's having beer, they're like, yeah, Tom Holmoe used to come out and not have a beer, but he would hang out with us and just showcase that, look, you can be a BYU fan, not be a member of the church. You can be a BYU fan and be a member of the church. You can be whoever you want at a BYU game. And I had a Coors Light. And my buddies back home were like, what? There's no way. It's not allowed. You can't do it. It's like, no. There's a misconception about these people that you walk in and they're like, well, you're going to hell. And that's just not what it is.
You're right. Here's the thing. One of my dearest friends in terms of BYU fans that I know and I absolutely love, Drake, he is about as hard drinking, hard living a man you'll ever meet. He loves his BYU Cougars. The dichotomy in a lot of people's minds, if you were to meet this individual and what you think BYU stands for and what it is all about, you'd be like, how in the world do these two get together? Well, he likes to drink, he likes to swear like a sailor, and he likes to live his life the way he lives his life. But he also, at the same time, he absolutely adores and cheers his heart out for the BYU Cougars. And I'm all for it, Drake. We come in all shapes and sizes. I'm telling you, across the spectrum. And the older I get, the more life experience I get. It doesn't matter what religion you are. More and more of us, we happen to have a team and a religion we may be a fan of or be a member of. And guess what? That's who we are. But at our core, we're all human beings. We all love sports in this realm, and we like to go out and support our teams. There's nothing wrong with that across the board.
Transubstantiation.
Mm-hmm.
You familiar with that word?
Yes.
I'm going back to my Christian scriptures days, my freshman year at Baylor. Transubstantiation. This was a thing in well, I guess it not was, but it's kind of Catholicism was butchered by the early Americans. They hated in the early days of the United States. They hated Catholics because they were like, oh, they're cannibals. And you're like, what? Like, yeah, they think that it's actually Jesus's blood or his flesh. Like, yes. Are you going to take us to school here?
Okay, Drake. I served a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I served in Taiwan. Taiwan does not have a Christian background in any way, shape, or form. It's Buddhism, Taoism, and some Confucianism mixed in there across the board when it comes to people in Taiwan. What people know about Mormons and members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Taiwan, Drake, one of the first questions I asked, one of the first days I was in the country, hey, do you have those horns I've heard about? Because that's one of the transubstantiations that has existed for members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints for literally decades, is that Mormons grow horns, Drake.
Legendary.
Let's see. If you're watching on YouTube, you see any horns on my head?
Legendary. Is that why I have two little nubs coming in up here? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, that's it, Greg. That's why you got the nubs growing in.
They're
careful. You got
to be over.
You got to cut them down every so often so they don't protrude. You know.
See that's the whole transubstantiation thing is the reason that Catholics were banned from buildings for decades, even in this country. So you can look at people groups like, oh, they're weird. They're different, no doubt, than you because they have different beliefs for sure, but. In the same way that BYU fans or students don't drink or don't smoke, in the same way students cannot, which at any university, there are lists of rules and laws. And the second you graduate from that university, if you're a BYU kid and you have a beer, you still have the degree from BYU. It doesn't go anywhere. It's not like an honor code in life that you have to abide by or you're arrested. Another piece of this is I go to A&M. That's a cult, man. Yeah. They're gig 'em, things they do. That's incredibly embarrassing. You know what I find embarrassing, and every fan base does it? The damn wave. When they do the wave across the stadium, it takes the energy out of the stadium. The players hate it. You're just sitting there waiting, oh, when's the wave going to come? It is weirder than anything BYU does, and not to mention, I thought it was great.
Hey, Drake, here's the thing: BYU's done the wave in eras past. Now, I will say this. In the last 3 years since they joined the Big 12, I have not seen the wave that I recall at LaVell Edwards Stadium. I'm very grateful for that. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah. I love that now there are fire dancers on the field and Cosmo on top of the scoreboard, and it's one of the best game day experiences legitimately in the country. The only qualm I have, hold on, this is my notes. I immediately put it, I thought it was so that they do the whole fire dance thing. Utah scores immediately, which wasn't planned. Didn't have that in the cards. And then BYU, this is it. This is the only qualm that I have. Did the kicks cam? We go from to show us your shoes. Whoever has the best shoes wins a gift card. You're like, why didn't we do this in the first quarter? Why didn't we do this really early in the game? We went from the coolest thing. Yeah, there it is.
Corporate sponsors, man. And they want. I'm with you. Here's the thing. When you're going to do what they do, they call it turbulence. The thing they do between the third and fourth quarters. You're right. To flip from that to, hey, insert company here. We're going to spend some money. And you're going to do this contest for us. Do those earlier on in the game. Now, BYU's game day staff, David DeCalana and the rest of the crew down there, they put on an incredible show in addition to the football game. You're there for the football game, but they keep you absolutely engaged from kickoff to when the clock hits 0 in the fourth quarter with all the different things they do. But to your point, Drake, there are times when you can, do some different things. It feels like.
Yeah, that was my only I put it in my notes. Kicks cam ? What are we doing?
Well, they also have the Simba cam that they do from time to time. There's
Did you see the Bear Bachmeier Simba?
I did not.
Oh my gosh! Takes his nephew after the game, Simba's him with the crowds on the field.
Oh, he did it after the game. Wow.
Yes, crowd they've stormed the field. He goes into the stands, gets his nephew, and picks the child up in front of the entire crowd that had stormed. It was a legendary moment for the kid that woke up the next morning and played guitar. The people are always like, "No, this guy talks about BYU so often." Okay, the second that Rocco Beck plays guitar at a nursing home the day after beating Iowa, maybe I'll give a little bit more prep, to Rocco Beck. But that's just, I guess it's the BYU way, man. Jake, how can more folks? I'm sure all of the Locked On Big 12 listeners are familiar with you. I know everybody that I encountered on Saturday said, so where's Jake Hatch? Isn't he supposed to be with you? And I was like, he's somewhere around here. How can folks that are not familiar with your show find more of it?
Just check out Locked On Cougars wherever you get your podcasts. Also available on YouTube, like this fine program. And if you want more on social media, just search out Locked On Cougars on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter.
Love it. That is Jake Hatch. All things Cougars, Locked On Cougars, every single day with the Locked On Podcast Network. This has been, it always will be, Locked On. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. A crossover with Cougars, and Go Say Grande.